Welcome to Real Conversation with Sean. My name is Sean.
And I'm Jelani.
We come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sponsored by the Mississippi Delta Ceasefire Initiative. An initiative put forward by myself. The president is Mr. Jelani Barr. And we're blessed to still be able to bring this commentary to you all every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4:30 to 5. You can call in at 453-2401 to get in on the commentary. And now we have our sponsor.
Health to Live in Mississippi. It's a 6-week challenge by Dr. Adrian Hicks to fight obesity here in the Delta. Obesity is one of the leading diseases for heart failure, one of the leading causes for heart failure here in the Delta. And this is a 6-week challenge she has put forth to fight obesity. It will begin June 1st and end July 14th. Participants will wake up daily, walk and run from Walthall and Henry to the Youth Center and back. Give Dr. Hicks a call at 662-374-6414. Also sponsored by Main Street Chevron, 800 Main Street. Go by and get your 18 pack for $12.99, and they also have the 2 for $9 t-shirts. Go by and also get your short order burgers, your cheeseburgers, hamburgers. They have it all. Also by Come and Go Grocery, 1500 Carrollton Avenue. Go by and get your 2 for $10 t-shirts. They have an ATM, and they also accept EBT. How you doing, Mr. Pierce?
Oh, man, I'm good. They say any day above ground is a good day.
That's right. That's right.
You know, it's a lot, it's a trying time right now. Kind of nervous about the big test coming up.
For the children.
For the kids, I want to remind them that regardless of what anyone says about the validity of the test, whether it's too much,
difficulty
give your best effort, because if you can if you want to be able to compete in the global marketplace, I'm sure there's going to be some test taking involved, and why not get prepared right now? Why not use what some say are obstacles to hold us back? Why not use those obstacles for an advantage? And if you never heard it put that way, you heard it today. Use those obstacles that they so-called are putting in our way as an advantage, and conquer those pitfalls, conquer those obstacles, find a way around them. And the only way you can do that is put your mind on another level. Anything you're not good at naturally, you have to try. You have to put in maximum effort. You have to lock in on that English. You got to lock in on that language. You got to know when to put your commas. You got to know to use punctuation and not do run-on sentences and all the different areas of writing that's involved, and especially with the math. If you've been doing it through the process, working your problems out like your teacher's been telling you, you shouldn't have a problem. But if you've been taking shortcuts, just doing it the way you want to do it, you're probably going to have a problem. So let's try to do it the way they're teaching it to us. Use your own God-given talent to lock in and make sure we do well on these tests, so we can do our part to get our educational system back like we want it.
Yeah, students, I believe they should ask for help. If you don't understand it, go and ask a teacher. But one thing I think the district should focus on, and I said this before, focus on the reading. If the children can read and understand the words and the questions, then they can answer them. Teachers, administrators, any school personnel, please focus on your classrooms reading, on the children in your classroom. Focus on their reading skill. Make sure that they can read. That is the biggest problem with failing a test, is not being able to read the question. If you can't read the question, then you cannot read the directions. Right. And you cannot follow directions that you cannot read. Teachers, please make sure your students know how to read. Work on it. Work on it. Work on it. Work on it. That's the only way they'll be able to go ahead and pass these tests.
It's at the end of the year now, and if you hadn't been doing it all the time like they used to tell me, and I was one of those failing students, I wasn't a good student until I found the game of basketball, and I found out that I had to make a certain GPA to play it, and I found myself, and I found myself studying hard, and Miss Swilly and Miss Hansbrough, Coach Jones, Mr. Carter, Miss Simmons, all those people, when it was time to read, I wanted to stand up because I knew it was other students shying away from it. But when I really tried and applied myself, I was successful, and I try to apply it to this day. And I do know that a student that's not, attaining his goals or doing their own potential or reaching their potential, they still have a chance to reach their potential. Mm-hmm. I'm a living witness. I'm an example that you can come from from F to making A's and B's, C's, you know what I'm saying, high D's here and there.
Right.
But at least I was applying myself, and at the time I came up, if they told us we had to take a test to pass to the next grade or to graduate, that's just what we did. We didn't have people making excuses for us. We didn't have people talking down on the test. And if you've been out there talking down on the test around my young people, they don't need to hear that. They don't need to hear that, because they will use that. Right. They will use that as an excuse not to apply themselves. And if that's been going on, it's not too late to change it. I know we're gonna make sure they get a good night's rest, on Sunday.
Yeah. Because they're very impressionable.
Right.
They're very impressionable, and most times children act out what they see at home or what they see other adults do or say. Right. And if they hear other adults downing something or talking bad about it, then they're not going to have any respect for it.
Right.
And therefore, they're not going to put full effort into doing whatever it is because of what the adults have said. So you must be careful around your children and talking about these things. Don't let them hear you say that, because they will have an effect on them psychologically. Whether you know it or not, it will affect them.
We're fortunate enough to have come this far, and I know it's a blessing. People say all the time, you'll get your blessing, but I think this program, the Mississippi Delta Ceasefire, is truly a blessing for me to have a stage and an opportunity to actually help my people outside of my work area.
Right.
It's something that I'm passionate about. I get teased about it all the time. Sometimes it gets thrown in my face, but at the same time, I know that somebody has to do it. There's only a few points of view out there. We live in a divided city. So it needs to be a broader perspective and another approach to our problems. And oftentimes, the solution lies within the problem. And we like to bring things, such as intervention counseling, 24-hour hotline, mental health awareness, victims of violent crime counseling. You rather have it from someone, who's genuine, who's seen it, and people who've been through it are more apt to be able to help other people that are going through it.
Right.
So that we can kind of bring attention to this gun violence.
Yeah, it's hard to bring someone in from the outside. I mean, it's possible, but like you said, the solution lies within the problem a lot of times. So, if you have a problem here, it's hard to bring something in from the outside to fix that problem, because they really don't know what the problem is. Right. They'll only assess that problem through their knowledge and their teachings. And by them not being in this environment, then they haven't been educated on the way this environment works. So to fix a problem, you have to get the solution, like you said, from within inside the problem. You have to get someone who is in the situation
or have been
in the situation, who can relate to it, who has experience in that situation, or with those types of people to get things done. I mean, they know the answer. Right. They're sitting back looking at the answer every day when they're out on the corner or they're riding their cars. They're looking at the answer and what to fix. But, their word is not taken, it's not substantiated, because of who they are, which we talk about all the time, as we know. Right. But it just always goes back to that.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, get our young people's attention, our young adults, our mentors. We want them to see that we're making a valid effort to try to do some things to help our community, and that shouldn't be a selfish type thing to have certain organizations or certain people only have the right to speak up for the city or when they have a problem. I think that the citizens, the common man has the answer to the world's problems, and we don't see PSAs about gun violence, and we need a big billboard to remind people, commercial of sorts. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things that we need to do that haven't been done.
Right. Real conversation with Sean. brought to you by Come and Go Grocery, 1500 Captain Avenue here in Greenwood. They have the 2 for $10 T-shirts. They also accept EBT, and they have an ATM. Also by Main Street Chevron, 1800 Main Street. Go by and get your 18-pack beers for $12.99. They have 18-pack beers for $12.99, and their T-shirts are 2 for $9. Also by Healthy Living Mississippi, which is a 6-week initiative to fight obesity here in the Delta. Dr. Adrian Hicks is helping people get their beach bodies and their summer bodies, bikini bodies back. It's a 6-week challenge where participants will run at least 1 to 2 miles each morning during the 6 weeks. Give her a call. Her registration fee is $60. Her number is 662-374-6414.
Hey, another point I want to make why my young people need to take advantage of this test and take advantage of the educational process. You don't realize how hard it is out here. Just because you see these material things right around and houses and
right.
people having this and having that, there's a price that goes with that, and I'm experiencing it myself. When you start off late, when you weren't a good student, when you had to apply yourself late in life, sometimes things come to you late in life, and right now, it's a real stressful time. When you have good intentions, you want nothing but good for other people, and you have to maintain that balance between personal life and what you want, for the public. And I say it all the time that adolescent intervention needs to be a focal point. We need to be able to intervene, and we need to be able to prevent.
That's right.
And if we don't intervene, and if you don't think they're worth, the time, you just look at these young people as they go out and grow up and end up being, lawyers, doctors. They're going overseas.
The fear.
So we want to create a domino effect of success here in the Mississippi Delta, and before we do that, they say we need industry, and industry won't come here if we got a lot of crime and our education system ain't right. So we feel it necessary to do such things. I was just reading My 2 Cents where a little girl, talked about how she felt like she was being let down by some of her teachers, and if she's listening, I want her to know that, hey, you can do it. You can do it. You just educated yourself that everybody that's in front of you in authority is not right. I had to learn that. I thought all adults were right, and I grew up and found out that some of them were tainted, and some of them were getting bad information,
and that hurts.
And they was hating.
Yeah, that hurts when you find out.
Now that we know, and we can give that information, so the young people won't be able to fall into those traps of those people, because that's what you do. A lot of times, you go in being yourself, and then you open yourself up for all kinds of things.
That's why it's best to make good decisions early. Going back to what you were saying earlier, you have to make good decisions early so that you won't be a late bloomer. Right. It's hard for a late bloomer. Like, I'm only 10, 11 years replaced from high school. If I had done at least a third of the things I was supposed to have done, because I didn't even do it, I would be so much better off right now. Right. I mean, if I hadn't made the right decisions then, the decisions I made then are just now affecting me now. Right. If I had went to class when I was supposed to, I don't care how cool you think it is or how hip you think it is not to go to class. Right. It's much cooler to be able 10 years down the road to be able to say, well, hey, I don't have to sell dope. Right. I don't have to stay on this corner and do this. I did the things that I was supposed to do when I was in high school. Right. We have to. I think Project Pat said it one time. We can't look at the short cheese. We can't look at the short change. You have to look in the long term. So you can't look at your classroom right now and say, oh, it's boring. Oh, I have nothing to do. Oh, this lame teacher, this lame stuff. I don't need this. I'm a be this or this or that. Listen, you do not want to do that. You can go ask any dope boy or drug dealer now on Mac Long, West Side, anywhere. They will tell you, be something better. Do something different. Because if you don't, you're going to end up out here like us. It might look good to you, but wait until you get out here. You're going to see that this is not the life you want.
Well, I think that's overrated. Our city is not nearly as bad as some places. Our people that they participate.
I ain't talking about that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But what I'm saying is we get a bad rap.
we do bad things.
We get a bad rap, and it gets thrown out there. But the realistic picture is a lot of people have graduated high school that hustle. A lot of people got college degrees that hustle.
But not nearly enough, though.
But it's not nearly enough.
Again, there we go looking at the exceptions. We cannot look at the exceptions.
Oh, I can.
Well, I mean,
because I'm an exception.
But we can't judge the entire race off the exceptions.
I'm not doing that. We can't judge the entire race off of,
off the majority either. Right, but we have to,
right, that's why it's two
but we at least have to put it out there.
Yeah, that's why it's two perspectives, and they deserve, speaking up for. I said,
I feel it should be understood.
Yeah,
though,
if you happen to know,
like they said, the show fit weird.
Right.
If we're not talking about you, then don't feel like we're talking to you.
Right. I feel you. I'm just talking to the ones that can connect to, knowing somebody who resulted to doing something other than the status quo. And there's people in the status quo who are just as bad. So, I feel like, that should be addressed as well. And you're going to point judgment at people on low income levels. They're living in impoverished areas. They've always came up in impoverished areas. They didn't have a leg up. And
that's what we're doing now. We're giving them a leg up. Right. We're telling them, say, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
We giving them a leg up right now, saying, hey, young man, go to class. I know old boy out there riding on 24 look fly, he fresh, but listen, go ahead, get that work done, suffer this little bit, and 10 years from now, you'll have everything in place you need. You won't have a record, you won't have this, you won't have that. You have everything you need to be a successful person. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, I wanted to talk to Mr. Pearson.
What's up, baby?
And I want you to make it clear that just because you're a hustler don't mean necessarily that you're a drug dealer.
That's right. That's right. That's just what.
Yards or anything.
That's just what.
That's why I specified drug dealer when I was talking.
That's just what. That's just what.
That is the way that I just got it. Like when you were saying hustler, that equated directly to drug dealer.
Oh no, I said hustler to make it broader. My counterpart, he specified an area. What I did was I said everybody who hustles not necessarily didn't finish high school or wasn't a good student. And that's that's the point that I was trying to make. Being this real conversation, these are kind of conversations that we have on an everyday basis. And we're being judged on every turn, but we've seen since then, we got governors caught up in scandals, mayors caught up in scandals, all types of high-profile areas in life are been proven to be imperfect. So why should they be held to a high regard because of a paycheck or their future or how set they are versus people who out here who have to hustle for a living, whether it's selling CDs, whether it's selling iron or collecting. We are a hustling, surviving city. If it weren't for hustling, a lot of us wouldn't be able to make it.
Well, sir, going back to what Mr. Boss spoke on a minute ago, and I know this is something that my mother put in me firm, was choices and consequences.
Right.
Yes, sir. You got there. Your choice is going to lead to some consequences you might not have wanted. And that's what we got to get our young people to see.
That's the truth. And once they see people get validated that they look up to, because a lot of times the people that they look up to never get validated, never get heard from. So they have to be confident that you're going to respect the people that I look up to that have been there for me, and then we can get their attention as well. But if we're going to talk down on the parents, talk down on, everything that's going on, make it seem like it's everybody and not just isolated situations, it's going to be hard getting their confidence. We got to build the trust of the community back up.
Here's a new question for you here, sir.
What's up, baby?
Myself, I don't want to share my name, but I just want to talk about this. You go through school, you make straight A's, you honor roll this, your dean's this, that, and then you get out of school and everything, you're looking for a job and they ain't got nothing for you but minimum wage and overqualified. What do I do if I don't want to leave my family, my city?
What do you do?
Yeah, what do I do?
What we're trying to do, that's a good question.
There's almost nothing you can do, when all the odds are stacked against you like that. Because, you have plenty of people who are in that situation. They went to school. They did everything they were told to do, and they still cannot get a job. You want to know why? We call that nepotism. That's because the people in place who can give them a job has already given their job to a friend or to someone else who is less qualified. And when you're in a small town with not a whole lot of options, that's what happens. You have well-educated people here still working at McDonald's, still at Burger King, still at low-end jobs because they cannot get in the field in which they want to because someone else holds a position.
And even after that, the future. My father been working 50 years. His foot went bad, ankle went bad, knee went bad. Can't get his disability. Too young to get Social Security. Can't get a job. Well, I mean, my whole family about to be in a hole out here.
But that's why we trying to make sure we try to do what we can to
bring some of
the excuses they're giving us for why we don't have jobs, why we don't have a mall, why we don't have a movie, why we can't stay up past 1 o'clock. We can spend money in this town, we can invest in this town, but we don't have a lot of say so. So what we're gonna try to do is try to gain the leaders' trust. We want them to know that we're ready, so that we can see some results. Because right now, not seeing results is being tolerated. It's being tolerated.
I think I don't know exactly who all controls what, but there ought to be a list out there about who controls what, who runs what. There need to be somewhere I can go and just check and see who over these things, where I can talk to the people who control it.
Well, that's the emphasis. That's all we own is who run it. Not not the service that's gonna be provided. We need to take the emphasis off what I run and let me see the results of what I'm running. And see, and that's what the future gonna bring about, and that's what
I'm talking about.
I want to bring about. Not let's get public service, let's get private service, let's get customer service back to the level of intelligence and cordiality.
Bring it back in demand.
Be more, be nicer. Let's
transparency.
All of that. Yeah. All of that. Let's all this closed door stuff. All this come out and tell us anything.
I got one more idea I want to share with y'all.
Come on with it.
A lot of these children out here, they don't have nowhere to go after they get out of school. I mean, you can see that. They don't have nothing to do as they getting older. They graduate and there's just nothing to do, nowhere to go. So they get involved with drugs and all these other things. Okay. I got an idea. I think somebody need to put this in place.
What's up?
People who get locked up for selling drugs, when the police confiscate all their money and take their cars and their houses and things, how about you give that money and the cars and houses and things to people who take care of known drug addicts? Mm-hmm. Like when these drug addicts go blow their money, they still got kids. Somebody got to feed them. They still get hungry. Somebody got to feed them. These people in this community been doing is taking care of the people who don't nobody care about, and we still getting nothing for it. Ain't no benefits, no reason, but the money going into some unknown pot.
There you go. I promise you. And I've always said that money that's taken from the drug dealers, it goes into those people's pockets. It doesn't go all back into the government. Some of the deputies take some of the police officers take some, and I've always said that money should be put back into an account for the community. The community should lack nothing. It should lack nothing because there should be an account there where all that confiscated money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars in some cases, put back into an account exclusively for the community, for roads, dilapidated housing, all type of things that the community needs. That is a great idea.
That's a great idea. Sure enjoyed your call, Bob.
Thank you, Carl. We're going to get to our sponsors here.
All right.
Come and Go Grocery, 1500 Carrollton Avenue here in Greenwood. Go by and get your 2 for $10 T-shirts. Also by Main Street Chevron, 800 Main Street. Go by and get your 18-pack for $12.99, and they have 2 for $9 T-shirts. They also have short order hamburgers, cheeseburgers, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, whatever you need. And also by Healthy Living Mississippi, 6-week challenge to fight obesity. Give Dr. Adrian Hicks a call at 662-374-6414.
I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
We almost forgot about it.
Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the people who love their moms and the moms there for them. Hey, y'all have a good day. When it's on Saturday or Sunday. Got the blues concert coming up.
Happy Mother's Day to the ones who don't have mothers.
Hey.
Somebody there, somebody cares for you.
I was raised by committee. So I know. Miss Bobby Carter, Minnie Anderson, Deborah Jackson, I call her baby, to this day. I'm still being
Happy Mother's Day to all the orphans. You know, somebody love you even if you don't feel like it.
Nelly. We want to say Happy Mother's Day out to Nelly, and all the mothers of my friends and your mother, and everybody out there. So we enjoy bringing this commentary to you today. Take this test. I want you to make sure my young people take maximum advantage of what they're doing. That's my whole goal. This school term, I want that to be the bright spot. I want the kids to get back on the stage, and we need to fall back in the background. Because when I was in school, I never knew who my superintendent was till Mr. Whitaker was it. Right. So I always thought my principal ran my school and my teacher ran the classroom. So I think we need to get back to that and put the emphasis back on our kids, and we'll see a better result.
Yeah. We want to remind everybody, go check out all our shows. Our shows are recorded. Check them out on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Real Conversations. That's Shuns, SHUNS. Go by and check those out. Going back to that caller, those are some great points that caller made. And I just want to let that caller know about, he said about his father and the family that can't get jobs and such and such. Caller, that's why we're here right now. Right. We're trying to bring notice to this. We're trying to let the people know that, hey, go to your leadership. Like he said, we need to find out who these names and lists are. It's out there, caller. You can look it up on the internet. You can go to the city hall, get a list of all your council members, all your supervisors, all your senators, your representatives. Call these people. They have numbers. Put their feet to the fire. That's why the situation is so dire. That's why it's so bad here. We have to hold these people accountable, and we have to let it be known that the majority, the masses, are hurting.
Yeah.
And only the minority is doing good. The masses are hurting, and the minority who control things need to do better. Thank you, caller, for your thoughts.
Yeah, like I say, our feet are always held to the fire. We
arrested.
People on the, when we go to jail, people ask me how I'm doing. I say I'm doing good because I'm not in the police report or the obituary. So, because whenever you're doing bad in Greenwood, it's going to be public knowledge because it goes in the newspaper. If you get arrested, it goes in the newspaper. So you kind of live your life in, if you have something going on wrong, even if you're innocent, it's kind of played out in the public. So we're a special type, community there, and we need special attention. And we need to get it.
You're guilty till proven innocent here in Greenwood.
Well,
it's supposed to be the other way around, but
it does. The
once it hits the Commonwealth, it's almost as if the Commonwealth says it, oh, you did it.
I've always
said. If Tim Kalish puts it in the paper, oh, you did
it. Implication for me is just as bad.
Oh, it's just as bad.
So that's why I tell my people, you got to live. I live on the paranoid side. I make sure I know trouble is out there. I know it's coming.
You have to.
So you got to be aware. In order to be aware, you have to be aware. And if you're not aware, you're not going to be able to be aware of anything.
Not going to be anywhere. You're going to end up nowhere. But going back to my young people, choices. Your choices today, you will not feel them until 10, 15 years from now. So don't think you're getting away with it right now. Don't think it's okay right now, because 10 years from now, I promise you, that same geeky little nerdy person you're looking at, they're going to be your boss. You're going to have to work for them. You're going to have to go and ask them for a job. So learn all you can from those people. If you consider them lame, then go learn something from them. Teach them how to be a little cooler.
Yeah.
You know, take a money away and be like, hey, well, you know what? You know what I'm saying? That ain't so cool. You know what I'm saying? Do this or do that. And then in exchange, they can help you with your classwork. Learn how to work together. We all one human race. We all one person. Young people, make the best decisions you can now. You will not have to pay for them later.
All right, Real Conversation with Sean. Right. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll see you Monday. Like I said, happy holidays to everybody. Happy Mother's Day. I hope everybody have a great time.
Safe weekend.
Yeah, let's have a safe weekend.
Please be safe out there.
Let's not let this holiday be mired in tragedy.
Please be safe.
If you can help yourself, stay out of those situations.
Yeah, let's just put the foolishness to the side.
Yeah, stay out of those situations and make the right decisions. A lot of times it's not easy. If you have to find someone to talk to, you go do that. It's Mother's Day, so if you're remembering your mother or you're visiting your mother, try not to hurt your mother or your auntie or whoever raised you, or your grandmother, grandfather.
There you go.
Real Conversation with Sean.
We want to remind everybody, go by support our sponsors. Main Street Chevron. Go by and get your hamburgers and your cheeseburgers and your 18-pack for $12.99. Go by Come and Go Grocery. there on 1500 Carrollton Avenue, and call Dr. Adrian Hicks and get your beach body back, get your bikini body ready for this summer. 662-374-6414. We love y'all, and we out.
We out, baby.